Bill Wantland, Dee Dee Patterson.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
John Kramer.
Here.
Chris Anson. Susan Hammond.
Here.
Tim Poplin.
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and actions of consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Shane Fisher.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Airport Authority? If not, can I get a motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? If we could now go ahead and call to order the Seminole Gas Authority. Roll call, please, Jay.
John Kramer.
Here.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Here.
Bill Wantland. Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
Tim Poplin.
Here.
Chris Anson. Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Susan Hammond.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Shane Fisher.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Gas Authority? If not, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? We'll now call to order the Seminole Utilities Authority. Roll call, please, Jay.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
John Kramer.
Here.
Chris Anson. Bill Wantland. Jeff Griffin.
Here.
Tim Poplin.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Here.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Here.
Shane Fisher. We have a
Here.
quorum.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Susan Hammond.
Here.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin. Tim
Yes.
Poplin.
Here.
Gary Houck.
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson.
Yes.
Shane Fisher.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Utilities Authority? Under Resolutions, consideration and possible action to approve Resolution Number SUA 2015-02, a resolution setting water and sewer rates for consumers of water of the City of Seminole's water and sanitary sewer systems.
Does anybody from the Rates Committee want to address this, or you want me to forward John?
You are poised and ready, sir.
All right. We had a meeting with the Utility Rates Committee. Their recommendation is that on the mega user, which will be over 5,000 gallons of water, that we go up to $13.20 for the first 1,000 gallons. Over the 1,000 gallons will be $3.20, and then over 500,000 gallons will be $3.50. That is the recommendation of the Water Rates, or the Rates Committee, and certainly the staff agrees with that. It's time for us to adjust our rates upward.
Are there any questions on that?
Yeah, this is by the month. I don't think there's a residential user that will use 500,000 gallons in a year, so this 500,000 gallons will be per month. And
This
that's-
hits very few of our users, the
That's
ones
right.
that use the most.
That's right.
And we have to do something. Our sewer rates is the thing also that we're doing.
Yes, we'll also ask for a sewer rate change.
We're asking $3 raise to each meter reader there.
Right.
And if you check, and as you know, we approve a lot of money going into our sewer plant for upkeep and for updating. And it's, according to Mike Grant, there could be as much as $3 to $4 million coming forth expense to upgrade it even more.
Mhm.
And we need to be looking ahead on that. So we tried to hold it down to where we didn't hit our citizens, but $3 more is not going to hurt anyone, we don't think. So we felt it as low as we possibly could.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like Dee Dee said, you know, we've done there's a lot of work in the sewer plant. Our plant is how old, Steve?
Probably 1945
So,
range.
I mean, we're looking at probably in years to come, who knows when, that we'll have to even probably replace the thing, so. And we put a lot of money the last 2 or 3 years into it, so. It's better to take care of the problems and take care of them now, instead of wait till something drastic happens, and then we have to hit everybody by a whole bunch. This is kind of like we've always done on the city council. We've tried to think ahead and, you know, prepare for the future, so.
You're absolutely right. We're one of the few rural communities that are not under any consent order for the Department of Environmental Quality. And we keep that record by staying ahead of the trends. And in order to do that, you've got to have some money to do the improvements, and this is why this is necessary.
Comparably, our rates are still lower than any of our competitors. This is the cheapest place you can live that I know of when it comes to utilities.
Is that a motion, sir?
Well, since we was the one that is on the committee, I'd rather see the motion come from someone else if it would.
I make the motion, we pass.
Second,
Roll call, please, Jay.
Susan Hammond,
yes.
John Kramer,
Yes.
Jeff Griffin,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Shane Fisher.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? If we could now please call to order the city council meeting. Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Here.
Chris Anson, Bill Wantland, Susan Hammond,
Here,
Tim Poplin.
Here.
Gary Howe,
Here.
John Kramer,
Here.
Jeff Griffin,
Here.
Shane Fisher.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If we could please stand.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At our Savior's command, informed by divine teaching, let us dare to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Under elections and appointments, consideration and possible action to approve the mayoral appointment of Raymond Sanders as resident member of the Housing Authority Board of Commission for a one-year term to fill the vacancy by Karen Johnson.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
yes.
Tim Poplin,
Yes.
Gary Howe,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Consideration and action of consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Oh, could I pause right there? Excuse me. I do need to remove one thing from the consent agenda. It's a check that is for ActiveNet. That's dealing with the Reynolds Wellness Center. We've switched our software, and we don't need to pay that ActiveNet. I think Brad would agree that we've had problems with their contract, which is the reason we terminated, and I would prefer that we pull that out of the consent agenda.
So I make the motion, we remove that and approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Are there any appearances or petitions from the audience for the Seminole City Council meeting? Under approvals and acceptances, bids, consideration and possible action to approve the lease purchase of SCBA's for the fire department from MSA at the state bid price of $75,394.61 per year for 3 years, or a total of $226,183.83. This is a fiscal year 2014-15 budgeted item to be funded from the general fund CIP.
Chief Baker, would you mind coming up and kind of explaining to everyone what these are and how important they are?
Sure. The SCBA's is it's our self-contained breathing apparatus. It's the units that we use when we go into a structure fire, hazardous material scene, gas leaks. They're used on a daily basis. The units that we're looking at purchasing now, they come with a 15-year warranty. We have 2 representatives in the state of Oklahoma that will work on these, unlike what we have now. If they can't get it repaired on the same day, then we have a loaner that same day. The company MSA has been in service for over 100 years.
And each fireman requires a personal unit.
We're required to, by ISO, to carry a certain amount of SCBA's on each one of the apparatus. Depending on the size and the use of it, dictates how many require on each unit. Tower 7, the ladder, for instance, requires 6. The rescue unit or the squad, for extrication, we have 2 on it. So it varies from 2 to maximum of 6. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Resolutions number 2. Consideration and possible action to approve resolution number 2015-10, a resolution supporting continued participation in Main Streets programs.
I would just note that this is not a funding decision. This is just a letter of support for their continued assistance through the state.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under ordinances, number 3, consideration and possible action to approve ordinance number 1177, an ordinance relating to water rates, amending Title 17 Utilities, Chapter 2, Water Department and Services, Section 17-2-2, Water Rates B, rates enumerated, 1, rates, and 2, automatic annual rate increase to the City of Seminole Code of Ordinances, and declaring it emergency.
This is basically what we
That's
did a
what
while
we
ago.
That's
We had it on
exactly
the city
right.
council.
We have to approve it in the Utilities Authority and in the City Council.
I would move to approve minus the emergency clause, which probably will have to be a second vote. Is that true?
Right.
Okay.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under ordinances number 4, Mr. Jump Ahead, was the ordinance to make the emergency clause associated with number 1177.
And without the emergency, it takes 30 days, right?
That is correct. And we've got some things pending that are critical to the operations, so.
Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Thank you. Second?
Yes.
Anyone? Thank you. Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Houk,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 5, consideration possible action to approve ordinance number 1178, an ordinance related to sanitary sewer rates, amending Title 17 Utilities, Chapter 3 Sewer System as Public Utility, Article A, General Provisions, Section 17-3A-2, Rates A, rates established, 1, to the City of Seminole Code of Ordinances, leaving off the declaration of emergency.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Hauk,
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 6, consideration possible action to approve the emergency clause associated with ordinance number 1178 above.
Move to approve.
Second.
Roll call, please, Jay.
Dee Dee Patterson,
Yes.
Susan Hammond,
Yes.
Tim Poplin.
Yes.
Gary Hauk.
Yes.
John Kramer.
Yes.
Jeff Griffin.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under reports, city manager.
Yes, Mayor, I want to applaud the efforts of one of our new city council members, Tim Poplin, has pulled off something of a coup. He was able to bring a reality television show to Seminole, and I think all the reports that we got were just fantastic. We had several people we didn't know that were going to show up. That I don't know how big the crowd was, but there was a lot of people there. But we had a very professional organization. The organization you guys agreed to contract with, the Pilgrim Studios, they were. I don't know that professional even describes what they did out there. It was remarkable to see how that came off.
We do know they kept Tim up all night.
And they kept him up all night. I checked out early. I think Jeff Griffin may have even stayed after I did, but it was a great experience, and I'm proud of Seminole for being able to pull that off, and especially we had calls at City Hall from people knocking on doors and asking questions about the flood that they experienced. So I probably need to notify the public that you may receive knocks on the door asking about your flood experience, and those are people that you all have contracted with to evaluate and get some remedies or solutions on the board. So the MESHAC group is who we've contracted with, and they've done so far have done a very good job. We're excited to see what they come up with. I want to give a pat on the back to our crew out at the swimming pool. They've done excellent work this year, as all of our community development staff do. Last night, they held our first Glow Night swim and had over 300 people in attendance. So that was, wow, that was something else to see. They've also got things such as movie night. I'm reading from a skinny dipping night, and wait, that's somebody tricked me here. Whoa. That's not one of the events, okay? Not one of the events. But they are going to have movie night. What else? What am I missing? Water babies. They'll be having an event in the Thursday morning that the babies and the mothers will be the only ones in the pool, I guess on the shallow end for sure. So good things are happening out at the swimming pool, and that's all I've got, Mayor.
City Attorney. Ward 1, Susan Hammond.
Nothing tonight.
Ward 2, Gary Hauk.
Steve, on the splash pad, how are we coming on it? Is it fixed now, or
Well,
are we still waiting on them to come out and do the warranty work, or?
yeah, last report I had was they would be back to do some of the work, but our crews have fixed essentially all that was wrong with it. We have fixed. We've still got some policing issues, that's probably a bad term, supervision issues that go on there. We need to lock that down somehow, and I'm not ready to make any recommendations to the city council on how we should do that, but I think everything's going to be on the table going forward. It's not something that we want to charge for. However, I think it is probably something that we're going to have to look at, having a lifeguard or some management team member there full-time to make sure that our equipment is being taken care of, that the kids are being supervised, that the adults aren't
Acting like
I probably
kids.
need to leave it there.
Okay. Again, our city crew, I mean, so many times we thank them because they've stepped up to the plate. I mean, we have good city staff, good crews. and
Amen.
We have very good citizens, too. Thank you.
Ward 2, John Kramer. Ward 3, Jeff Griffin.
Well, I want to thank the emergency services groups. From personal experience, I can say that our ambulance service, they did an excellent job when I needed them, and I want to thank them for their professional jobs they provided.
Ward 3, Tim Poplin.
I need to tell Chief Marshall that our experience Saturday night with the producer of Pilgrim Studios, he told me that they have been all over the country, and he's never worked with any policeman that has been more professional than your staff was out there that night. They brought a lot of their own security and stuff, but I mean, they just worked together. They were all wired together. The safety crews, they brought, I think there was 6 people in their organization that was in charge of the safety. There was really nobody in any kind of danger other than the people that were actually in the cars and their pit crews at any time. I was just amazed with how professional a system. I had no idea that it was going to be anything like that. And just a small token, when I went out there the next morning to kind of get my golf cart and police the stuff, I didn't pick up 2 handfuls of trash or paper that was left. And I was told by somebody that even the drivers and their pit crews and all the production crew, they all had a trash bag and they walked the scene and picked stuff up. So to me, that speaks volume for the kind of people that showed up that night. And luckily, we didn't need the services of our fire department or EMS, so grateful for that. But they were there standing by and ready if they needed them. But it was a great experience, and I'd like to see it happen again, so we'll just wait and see.
Ward 4, Dee Dee Patterson.
Well, back on the splash pad, that seems to be the most popular place in town. Of course, it's free, and that's good. I hope we can keep it that way. All the other cities seem to be charging.
That's right.
But as long as we can have it free, that's what it's for. It's for our citizens to enjoy. But like you say, supervision of those small ones, mom and dad or whoever takes them out there is responsible, and they should step up and do their job. So if we have a problem, I don't know how we correct it, but there should be a way. Maybe you can come up with something. That's all I have.
The only thing I would like to add is really kind of add to Jeff's thing is, working in the emergency room for like 18 years now, as I see all the people when they come in the hospital. But I've never had to go see a wreck, and I recently did. And our people are at the scene, from the firefighters to the paramedics to the police. Y'all are awesome. And so thank you. Thank you. That is all. I think we have executive session,
Yes, sir.
and so we'll go ahead and give everyone time to get out, and then we'll have executive session.